Welcome one and all. What a great pleasure to have your company for all of the action about to get underway at the 42nd European Championships of Rhythmic Gymnastics. The setting is Varna on the beautiful Black Sea coast of Bulgaria. And look at what is coming up today. It is action-packed. We've got so much to enjoy, starting with the individual senior qualification going right the way through until 6:30 local time in Bulgaria. Then bonus territory for all of you gymnastics fans. We've got the individual apparatus finals for juniors taking place, and that will be starting at 7:30 local time in Varna. All of that going right into the night, and we'll have the award ceremony for all of those junior apparatus finals to close our coverage today. Ollie Hochman here, great pleasure to have your company. I hope you're looking forward to a busy day, but a fantastic day of rhythmic gymnastics at the European Championships in Varna. So it's all about to get started. In the next few minutes, we're going to begin the first of 4 sets in this morning session that will go through until just after 1 p.m. local time in Bulgaria. The gymnasts have been divided into 8 groups for the purposes of qualification. We'll see sets A through to D this morning, and then tomorrow it will be the reverse. So the groups that are in the afternoon and evening session today, they will kick things off tomorrow. Blythe Lawrence will be with you to take you through the afternoon and evening sessions of qualification. For all of these athletes, now it is the time to get out there and to deliver their very finest work, to try to book a place in the apparatus finals and the all-around final with its brand new 20-strong becoming 10 format. Yes, more on that as we go through the competition, as we get closer and closer to that moment of realisation that the gymnasts have made it into the all-around or the apparatus finals. We've got a long way to go before we know any of that for certain, so let's just focus on enjoying what's coming up. Set A, rotation number 1. We're going to see 2 rotations from this set. The hoop and ball, they'll return tomorrow for clubs and ribbon. There will be a bit of fluctuation of some of the gymnasts as we go through. If, for example, you are a squad like Slovakia who are getting us started, they've got more than 2 gymnasts. Turkey, who will work in tandem with Slovakia, they've only got 2 gymnasts competing here, so both of their gymnasts will do all 4 pieces. But for some of the other squads, they're taking a slightly different approach. Only 3 exercises are needed to qualify for the all-around final. That's a standard format in international rhythmic gymnastics competitions. It allows for a bit of rotation of the squads, and it gives more gymnasts more opportunities to take to the carpet. Good luck to all of them. For some of these gymnasts, simply being here, simply making it to these championships is a victory in itself because of their own personal journeys, maybe coming back from injury, maybe thinking they were done with the sport and thinking that there was no place for them. Well, it turns out there was, and it's the European Championships, a showpiece occasion, one of the majors. We put it alongside events like the Olympic Games, like the World Championships, as one of the big 3 competitions that the gymnasts of Europe aspire to be part of, dream of being part of.
Okay, put your hands up, we'll start in a few seconds. Sumie aplodismenty započneme samo za няколко секунди с разкриваната прежите квалификациите в следващите 8 групи, които ще наблюдаваме до 18 часа и 30 минути.
Well, we are close to the start of competition, just a matter of seconds now, and we will be beginning. Good luck to all of the athletes.
Representing Slovakia, please welcome Emilia Piszczulina.
What a moment for this young gymnast. She's 15, lives in Bratislava, Emilia Piszczulina. As she makes her debut in a major competition internationally, she gets the whole thing started. Really well done. What a nice start. Very controlled, composed performance from Emilia Piszczolina, who trains at Golden Girls Gymnastics. She attends the English International School of Bratislava, and we're going to see her performing 2 exercises. She opts for the fouette with leg horizontal rather than the more traditional balletic passe position, and that's been rather, I would say, put to one side by most gymnasts in favour of the leg at horizontal, because you get an extra 10 for that first rotation. Representing Turkey, this is Damla Sel. She only came in just before the start of the competition due to a withdrawal in Team Turkey, so best of luck to this 15-year-old. This is her first time at a senior major championships.
You say you're the king, but you lie around in the shade, out of shape, unafraid. The moon cuts a path through the sky by night or by day. It doesn't obey, and neither do I. You took my son. I hope you can run. 'Cause I'm gonna be the last thing you see before you go. Bye-bye. There you go. Bye-bye. Climb every tree across land and sea. I make you go. Bye-bye. I make you go. Bye-bye. Everything in my clutches. Bye-bye. Everything the light touches. Bye-bye, for vengeance is mine. If I'm the last of my line, I must be strong. Bye-bye, I make you go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, I make you go. Bye-bye.
That's 2 15-year-old gymnasts, one after the other, making their debut in a major competition, and they've both delivered really good quality gymnastics. Well done to them. Very nice at the start, particularly the sequence of Sinead turns into the back walkover. Very fluid, very good basics from Damla Sel. It will be quite a whistle-stop tour through all of these routines today and tomorrow. A little more time is afforded when we get into the all-around competition and into the apparatus finals, where there's the luxury of a greater opportunity to watch replays and to really dissect some of the finer details of these exercises. But I'll do my best to give a few little points of analysis here and there as time permits. But also, and perhaps first and foremost, we're here to celebrate the stories of these athletes, to celebrate their lives, and to recognise the great accomplishments they've made in getting to European Championships. Because no gymnast is a mere composition of different technical elements. They are fully rounded human beings with lives that go on beyond the carpet, away from the competition floor, away from training. That's every bit as important. And particularly with someone like Damla Sel not having much time to ready herself for these championships. Came in due to a withdrawal in the Turkish team just before the start of the competition. Now we have the first score in. It's a 22.3 for Emilia Piszczolina. You're going to hear Bangaranga quite a lot, just as a warning ahead of these championships. It will feature once or twice, several million times. Teresa Sharanova of Slovakia. We welcome the retainer of the all-around national title. She won it again this year. If you can beat Teresa Sharanova in Slovakia, you know you've made it. She is the dominant force in her country. Won the all-around national title, as I said again this year, was awarded the Slovakian Gymnast of the Year for 2025. Actually lives in Canada, where she trains and is hoping to attend university, very ambitious academically. And she made her World Championship debut last year. Nice big sequence of whipped turns, fouette turns at the start. Up to 10 identical ones with heel support can be counted as one body difficulty. You can't change the shape of them once you've started. 21.85 for Damosel. Now to a real informed gymnast, Hatice Gökçe Emir of Turkey. Goodness me, she's in form at the moment. The first gymnast from her nation to win a World Cup medal. Hoop silver in Portimao in Portugal recently. She is having a big season. And she demonstrates a real sense of artistry, and that's so important. You can lose 3 to 6/10 from your score due to a body expression that doesn't match the orchestration, that just doesn't quite tell the story that you need to be telling. Teresa Sharanova, 21.5. And another strong feature of the gymnastics of Hatice Gökçe is her toe point. Really worth watching for. Now here is a 19-year-old who won 2 medals in European Cup competition in Baku. Silver with the clubs, bronze with this apparatus. This is Daria Vjarenic, and she really is an exciting prospect. A very classical style from Daria Vjarenic. Did well with one difficult sequence where the trajectory wasn't right and she had to almost hop, skip and jump over to stop that apparatus going out of bounds. So certainly some tenths to go for trajectory adjustment, but she did well to try to keep those turns as tidy as possible, even with a slightly wide base of them. 27.15. 12.1 difficulty score for Emirj. The first of the gymnasts from Estonia. A 15-year-old with an amazingly varied career already, because she's been a group junior world championship medalist. This is Sofia Yakovleva. Doesn't she dance beautifully? Real sense of harmony to what she's doing facially and physically as well. That's so important from an artistry standpoint, to have that guiding idea and character to your work. She's the all-around champion of Estonia, won the title in April, also won the ball gold medal. Very comfortable with that apparatus. So we're just working our way through set A. And we have a 27.5 from Daria Vjarenic. 7.55 artistry score. Also managed to get a few tenths more of difficulty than Emirj.
This is Orange 44, representing Belarus. Please welcome Alina Garbaskova.
Now to one of the most experienced gymnasts out there, Alina Garnasko, who has been a champion of the world, and she has a huge collection of European Championship honours, including the all-around silver medal from 2020. She starts her campaign with the hoop.
I blame my black heart. I blame my black heart.
It's a great little flick at the end, isn't it? It just adds so much drama and a touch of difficulty. The classical Alina Garnasko. And the first gymnast, I believe, to use the traditional balletic passe position fouettes as well, which she does with such a classical elegance. 24.85 for Sofia Yakovleva. 7.2 for artistry. No surprise that's a little higher than the execution, with what we were talking about, that idea of guiding character and style. To a 17-year-old from the city of Tallinn, who was part of the group for quite a while, now as the all-around bronze medalist from the national championships this year. Johanna Pertens goes to the European Championships as an individual.
Run and hide and I'll come see. Your time is up, accept defeat. Things aren't always as they seem. So run and hide from the big bad me. 3, 2, 1, here I
Quite an amazing accomplishment, isn't it, to go from being 4th in the all-around at the European Championships with a group to the following year, then actually managing to be an individual. 28.95 from Alina Garnasko, 7.8 execution score, very strong, lots of difficulty. So that's the single best mark we've seen so far. Two more nations to come in this first set before we go back round to the start.
Please welcome Camila Cezake.
Now to Camila Cezake. Turned 19 at the start of the year, made her senior World Championship debut in Rio. This is the 3rd time she's participated at the European Championships. There's a lot to really like about that from Camila Cezake to O Fortuna, with just a slightly different set of orchestration than the original and a slightly different vocal style as well. She'll be hit a bit by some trajectory issues. There are a couple of clear moments where she had to take a fair few steps to retrieve the apparatus. Did well to prevent a drop. 23.15 for Patents.
Soccer Hoop&Ball, representing Russia. Please welcome MARIANNA.
A 19-year-old gymnast who won a gold medal with the ribbon and a bronze with this apparatus at the Baku 2026 European Cup. She also won all-around gold in her World Cup debut in Tashkent. Maria Borisova now competes at the European Championships. First of 4 performances from Maria Borisova. Had some nice moments to it, some good technical skills, but a slightly rushed feel, maybe due to some of the trajectory issues, and that culminated in the loss of the apparatus out of bounds. So certainly a few penalty tenths to go there. She did well to get her hands on the ball as quickly as she did. 23.3 for Seyedzadeh. Execution and artistry 6.85. Problem is, it's so difficult, isn't it, to maintain artistic cohesion if you are chasing the apparatus. And when I say chasing the apparatus, I mean obviously to some extent every rhythmic gymnastics performance is chasing the apparatus, but it must never look like it. It must look as though the apparatus is a natural extension of the body. This is Gova Ibrahimova of Azerbaijan. It's another example of an exercise with some super moments in it. Particularly, she has this great skill of having a full leg extension in a balanced position, and then the apparatus dropping over it, passing over the body. It's very well controlled. She had a sequence of fouette turns where there was a real sense of hopping around on that base leg, which will carry a few deductions. Maria Borisova, 24.95, quite a bit of difficulty there, 11.4. 3 penalty tenths, as I mentioned earlier, for the out-of-bounds apparatus. But at least she didn't go out of bounds to get control of it.
Hoop&Ball, representing Russia. Please welcome Sofia Ilteriakova.
Now to Borisova's teammates. A gymnast who had some success at the Sofia World Cup at the start of the season, winning a silver with the hoop. This is Sofia Ilteriakova. She begins her campaign with the ball. A routine with plenty of complexity from Sofia Ilteriakova. And she's got particularly lovely fouettes in passe, very well performed. Again, a sense of a bit of rushing here and there to try to get the apparatus under control. There's one moment where she dealt with a trajectory issue and almost made it choreographic, but she did have a loss of the apparatus with some retrieval steps, so probably around 7/10, maybe even more to be deducted there. 23.25 for Gova Ibrahimova. And that performance of the final gymnast in this rotation from Russia, because there is another gymnast who we'll see in the second rotation, brings us to rotation 2. Set A, rotation number 2, about to get started. Hope you're enjoying it all so far. It's wonderful to have you with us for the 42nd European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships. All of it taking place in beautiful Varna, and it is beautiful. It's an absolutely lovely place. By the seaside, a beautiful blue sea. It's a warm day. You're never too far from the seaside in Varna. It's a 27.4 for Ilteriakova. So she has scored highly there.
From Slovakia, please welcome Nina Kotlitsova.
First opportunity to see Nina Kadličková of Slovakia. Well, you can only imagine how she felt before stepping out onto the carpet. The 15-year-old, her first time in a full-scale international competition as either a junior or a senior. Big moment for her and lots of nice work from Nina Kadličková to be very proud of. Welcome to the international stage. So we confirm that 27.4 for Sofia Ilteriakova. Strongest score that we've seen so far with the ball.
Representing Turkey with hoop, please welcome Damla Sam.
This is the second performance from Dame Lascelles. She started with 21.85 with the ball. She was 10th with the hoop at the Junior World Championships last year. really well done. She is embracing this huge opportunity. Dame Lascelles, I know it's a small moment, but there was a lovely little choreographic shift when she was on the ground as the music changed, and it actually started with a flick of the foot. She went from toe point, I think, to flexed, or the other way around, can't remember exactly which, and it just accompanied this total change of the orchestration. It was a really nice little feature. So we're in rotation number 2 of set A, and we have a 20.5 score for Nina Kadlichkova. Three gymnasts from Slovakia.
Please welcome Teresa Stanova.
Only one of them is doing all 4 apparatus, and it is, of course, their national all-around champion. Could it be any other way? She's earned that privilege. This is Teresa Sharanova, started with a 21.5 with the hoop. Had to improvise a little at the close of the exercise. Teresa Sharanova. There was a beautiful moment earlier on when the almost chiming sound of the piano keys was accompanied by the dynamic balance, the grand battement. Looked lovely. 26.25 for Dame Lascelles. That's way up from her score with the ball. And at the heart of that is an 11.8 for difficulty. Just remind you that one score will be discarded if the gymnast attempts all 4 apparatus in qualifications. So for Sel, that could be a very positive thing.
Representing Turkey with hoop, please welcome Hatice Min.
Well, a very, very good start from Hatice Gökçe Emir, 27.15 with the ball. Oh, how very unfortunate. And doesn't she embody so many different choreographic styles so well? Versatile performer. It's not just the loss of the apparatus that's the issue, it's the fact that in order to get your body difficulty credit, you've got to perform something without a major fault. So there's always jeopardy as that 20.8 comes in for Sharanova, that when you have a moment that's that problematic with the apparatus, you may not get anything like the difficulty that you're going for.
Stockholm with Paul representing Belarus. Please welcome Daria Verenic.
Good start from Daria Verenic. Now the athlete from Belarus performs with the ball. It's a nice finish, and it's a bold performance from Daria Verenic. Certainly a gymnast who's growing in stature, that is very clear. (24.65) with the hoop for Hatice Gökçe Emirci of Turkey. 11.3 for difficulty.
Please welcome Anna Oboamina.
Now performing with the hoop, Anna Karina Obolonina from Estonia. 16-year-old who was part of the group that won bronze at the Junior World Championships last year. New senior, good luck to her. Lots about that was artistically really nice to watch from Anna-Karolina Obolonina. There was a very nice little moment with the staccato choreographer when she went from penché with extension to then flexing the foot in penché and then snapping into arabesque. It was very stylish. 26.55 for Vierenic, an 11 for difficulty. So not quite as strong, 0.95 down from her hoop score. Coming up next, a gymnast who's made a really impressive start. Looking forward to seeing what the Olympic bronze medalist from Tokyo has got in store for us.
Stop with ball representing Belarus. Please welcome Alina Garnaskova.
The bronze medalist in the all-around competition from the Olympic Games in Tokyo, starting with a 28.95 with the hoop. The hugely popular, as you can hear from the crowd, Alina Garnaskova.
Un poco de recuerdo y sin sabor, goteature songoleredor, marea tu licori arrea, la tropea de la surda, al volcar la última curda. Contame tu condena, decime tu fracaso, no ves la pena que me he herido. Yo sé que me hace daño, yo sé que te lastimó, llorando mi sermón de vino. La curva que al final le termina la función, corriéndole un telón al corazón.
It's no surprise that she really does embrace the choreographic style of that La Última Curva. Alina Garnaskova, the reigning World University Games all-around champion. 25.6 with the hoop for Anna-Karolina Obolonina. She doesn't have the luxury of discarding any scores because she won't perform with the ball, so all three will count for her quest to make the all-around competition. Only 20 can qualify. That is down by 4 from last year. Still 2 places more than at World Championship level and many multi-sport games. Now to Johanna Pertens of Estonia. Started with a 23.15 with the ball. This is her second and final performance. And she won the silver medal at the National Championships with this piece. The last third of that exercise was really sharp choreographically and matched the intensity of the music. And if she can just over time bring that to the whole piece, then it's going to work even better than it is at the moment. It's such a big bit of music that it needs a very snappy, sharp choreographic style to make it work. And she's very close to finding exactly that. 28.25 from Garnasco, so the best set of scores we've seen so far. She's 7/10 lower than the score with the hoop. She won't perform with the ribbon, so won't be discarding any scores. Multiple international medalist in junior group competition, but now an individual senior, Gova Ibrahimova.
On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up, said, "Leave this one alone." She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad, bad, that I'm bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad. Bad. Woo! Bad to the bone.
I think that's one of those things that many gymnasts can empathise with, where you perform your greatest difficulty without too many issues, and it's the smaller moments where the apparatus gets away, and that unfortunately hit Gova Ibrahimova a little in that exercise. Otherwise, very good. 24.75 from Johanna Pertens. Really nice way to conclude her two performances with her best mark. I think she's an exciting gymnast to watch in the future as she becomes more embedded as a senior in individual competition, having been a group member before. And it is such a big adjustment to go from being a group member to an individual.
With hope, representing Russia, please welcome Sofia Ilteriakova.
To Sofia Ilteriakova, she started with a 27.4 with the ball, and now she performs with the hoop. She too will do only 3 of the 4 pieces. Some extremely strong technical elements there from Sofia Ilteriakova. The basic rhythmic gymnastics technique, the pirouetting, is extremely strong. And so she's likely to get a very high execution score. Over time, I think the target will be turning that into choreography that really feels as though it's her choreography, as though the whole thing is brought together by a guiding idea, because she's certainly got choreographic skill. 22 for Ibrahimova. It's a challenge, isn't it, that very many young gymnasts face, making the routine develop its own identity that feels organically theirs. I mean, that's easier said than done, much easier said than done. And I'm sure many of you out there watching know yourselves from experience how challenging it can be to make what's effectively someone else's choreography in many cases feel like your own movement. Now, first chance to see in action Fidan Gurbanli of Azerbaijan, just 15. Over the Palace of Culture and Sports in Varna. Now to a gymnast who didn't have the easiest of starts with the ball, but still managed a decent score, 24.95. This is 19-year-old Maria Borisova with the hoop. One does feel for her because the consistency can be an issue. There are some very good elements to her gymnastics. There's a little moment, for example, where she hit this beautiful attitude devant and then moved into the attitude derrière, those classical balletic positions. So lots of fundamentally good things, but there was a big loss of the apparatus with a lot of retrieval steps. One imagines that's going to be a 3+ steps full mark deduction from the execution score for Borisova. Just bring you a few scores to catch up with how things are going. There was a strong number of 29.15 for Ilteriakova with the hoop. We've also got a 24.8 for Fidan Gurbanli with the ball. Just one more number to come in. Just waiting for that score for Maria Borisova. And that will bring us to the end of set A, the first portion of their competition. They'll return tomorrow, obviously, to complete the remaining 2 rotations. And we have got a scoring of 24.65 for Maria Borisova, so she's done very well to get a number that positive with the issues that she had in the routine. Just 3/10 lower than with the hoop. And that brings us to set B. So best of luck to all of these gymnasts, a whole new set for you to enjoy. And we are with Rita Araujo of Portugal, veteran of the championship, 6th time here.
It's the final countdown.
First and foremost, congratulations to Rita Araujo of Portugal on 2 weeks ago. There's one to wake you up in the morning. Nice, energetic, up-tempo feel from Linnea Magdaberg of Sweden, who's been a medalist at the Nordic Championships, and something that you can count upon in apparatus finals at the National Championships, where she often picks up a lot of honours. 24.45 for Rita Araujo of Portugal with the hoop. As we go through the day, I'll start to give you more of a picture of the top scores across different apparatus. It's not as significant now because we're very much in the early stages. This is set B, and we're going to go right the way through to set H.
Representing Portugal with hoop, please welcome Joana Pinheiro.
Now to the university undergraduate from Lisbon, Joana Pinheiro. Her 5th time at the European Championships.
Les fleurs sous le béton, maman, dis-le-moi, où va-t-on? Est-ce qu'un jour on sait vraiment, ou est-ce qu'on fait semblant tout le temps? Où va le cœur quand il se perd dans les doutes et les hivers? Pourquoi les jours se ressemblent? Est-ce qu'on finit par voir ce qu'on assemble? Maman, dis-le-moi.
To have dealt with all of the turbulence early on in that exercise and to then produce what might be the most beautiful side scale spin we've had so far today is amazing. Well done to Joana Pinheiro on a great recovery effort. I mean, there's no masking the fact that was a very problematic exercise for her, and obviously there'll be a lot lost from the score. 17.65 for Linnea Magdaberry. She did well, Pinheiro, to make the instinctive call to go for the replacement apparatus rather than to turn and try to chase a hoop that was well on its way to going out of bounds. Naturally, the great issue is how much she's lost in terms of just empty exercise for having to chase the apparatus and not being able to perform anything. Did what she could with it, and there's no gymnast out there that hasn't had that experience at some point in their lives. The next gymnast for Sweden is Josefin Engstrand, also from Uppsala, like Linnea Magdaberry.
If I held my breath on you, I would have died 1,000 times. And if chewing was to show you how much I kid, I'll probably be wearing dentures by now. That's the way you want to be treated. Remember your days are falling down to just march on.
Did well right at the end with a little moment of unexpected trajectory, but you would expect someone like Josefine Engstrand to handle that because she's very well regarded for her composure, for her consistency and ability to come out and perform. She won the bronze medal in the all-around competition at the last National Championships. You're watching Set B in senior qualification at Varna 2026, the Rhythmic Gymnastics European Championships, taking place on the beautiful Black Sea coast in this lovely tourist setting. It's so popular and it's easy to see why. Well, it is unfortunately for Joana Pinheiro with a 4.8 execution score, a 17.05. Just remind you that all gymnasts who perform all four pieces can discard one score. Pinheiro will be able to. Now to Skaiste Razokaite of Lithuania. She's been working to increase her difficulty. Really well done from Skaiste Razokaite of Lithuania. Some gymnasts come to big championships with very new routines. Her modus operandi has been to just add little details here and there, try to get the difficulty score up to improve the artistry and the execution, just building upon what's already out there, and that's working very nicely. She's put a lot of effort, particularly into developing the sharpness of her dance over the last few years. A very bright and determined young gymnast. Well, we have the great Nordic rivals in this set, Sweden and Finland. And we have a 21.25 for Josefine Engstrand.
Representing Finland, please welcome MARIANNA.
Now to the 18-year-old MARIANNA of Finland. She's competed at 2 World Championships. This is her 4th Senior European Championships.
I'm gonna lure you into the dark. My cold desire to hear the boom, boom, boom of your heart. The danger is I'm dangerous and I'm might just tear you apart. Oh, oh, oh. You're my kill of the night.
Very memorable work from Emmi Piirainen of Finland. She just missed out on the all-around competition, the final in Tallinn. She was 26th in qualification. Now that's interesting, 23.85 for Skaiste Rasokaite. That is 2 3/4 stronger than her hoop performance in Tallinn at the championships last year. So I mentioned about those small gains, refinements, details, really working nicely. Well done to her. She should be delighted with that.
Representing Lithuania, with whom please welcome
Representing Lithuania, this is Niole Michute. Well, what a nice way to make your senior European Championship debut with a performance like that. Niole Michute of Lithuania. She competed at the Junior Championships in Budapest in 2024. That's some very memorable, stylish work. That will help her. Emmi Piirainen, 26.1. And that is an improvement of 2.2 from her hoop score at the Tallinn Championships a year ago. The caveat is it is trickier to get into the all-around final nowadays, with it being a 20-strong field rather than 24. But that's a great start. Here is the Nordic all-around champion and the national all-around champion, Finland's Liia Kallio. And she loves this sport, lives for it, and wants people to feel the joy she does when she performs. you should be able to see choreography in the fingertips, but you should also be able to see it in the heart. And you can with her, can't you? That meant something to her. And also, I think, of real note, a special mention must be given to Lia Kallio's Fuertes in Passe. She attacks those. She really gets power in the foot in a way that would make any practitioner of Taekwondo happy. Really memorable gymnast to watch from the beautiful city of Helsinki. If you have never had the chance to visit Helsinki, try if you can to do something about it, because it's a fantastic place. And you know what you can do? You can come and watch the European Team Gym Championships in Espoo, just north of Helsinki, in October. 23.75 for Michiute. Now to Anastasia Kakalu of Greece, the 15-year-old.
Afraid of the dark. Are you scared? I can see you from behind. I will catch you before you know. I'm going close. I will catch you. The time it goes tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Are you afraid of the dark? Are you scared? I am you.
Anastasia Kakalu of Greece, the 15-year-old from the Athens suburbs who made her senior international debut at the Baku World Cup earlier this year. Did well to recover after a little bit of an issue early on in the exercise. That's a good score from Lia Kallio, 25.65. Difficulty score of 10.7. Just to give you a sense of comparison, we've got a 12.5 as the highest difficulty score with the ball so far. That's Luteriakova. Garnasko's at the top of the ball standings, the only gymnast to break 8 for execution. And with the hoop, it's Luteriakova in first place, 13.6 difficulty score, so unsurprisingly a high number of 29.15. Garnasko second on 28.95 with a slightly lower difficulty score by 0.3. Now there's a slightly longer waiting period for this next performance because we have back-to-back hoop exercises to bring you.
From Greece, please
It's 22.9, so not much of a waiting period at all. Scoring very quickly. The very experienced, but still very young, just 19, Panayota Litra of Greece. She's been a Balkan champion. She's been a World Cup medalist.
with this moment, don't care what can gather. There's something breaking at the brick of every wall. It's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go where it's carrying all the colored lines, where the better ways are better than night? Impossible comes true. It's taking over you. Colossal we come, these renegades in the ring. Where the lost get found, every crown of the circus king. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running it's coming. It's only this moment, don't care what comes to stop. It's blinding out, shining, and it can let you know. Just surrender, 'cause you're coming and you wanna go. This is the greatest show.
She's been Greece's greatest show for a very long time. Panayota Litra from Athens, hoping for a smoother and more enjoyable European Championships in the last couple of editions. Didn't compete at the last World Championships, but made the ball final in 2023 in Valencia.
Representing Portugal with ball, please welcome.
Now we're going to go into the second rotation of set B. We've got an inquiry in progress as well for Leah Kallio. I'll update you on that in due course. To Rita Araujo of Portugal. Started with a 24.45 with a hoop.
Ando despacito pa olvidarme que camino. Tus ojitos azabache iluminan mi destino. Llama por última vez a mi puerta, te los pido. Las brujas de mi umbral besarán tu recorrido. Me gusta cantarle al sol y en las plazuelas habito. Con la frente platea me levanto y no me quito. Sé que el tiempo es invernal, caliéntame el alma con agua y mezcal. Te he visto en el vendaval, bailando jacaranda, piano a la nube. Para con agua y mezcal. Me he vuelto a enamorar.
That was a very difficult and well-performed pirouette in the full back bend there from Rita Araujo. Some stylish work from the experienced gymnast. Now it's a 25.75 for Panayota Litra of Greece. 11.7 difficulty score. So the fifth best number we've seen so far with the hoop.
Уважаеми дами и господа, с удоволствие да ви представителите на Швеция. With who, representing Sweden, please welcome Melanie Christoph.
Now to Melanie Christoph of Sweden, the 19-year-old who's from Lund in the far south of Sweden, the oldest city in Sweden, and she's the newest member of the squad, a debutant at the European Championships. well performed that was. Coming to a major championships and making your debut is about doing your routines to the best of your capacity, to the maximum level that you're currently working at. And I think we've seen that from Melanie Christoph there. She should be thrilled about that performance. A very bold orchestration. She worked nicely with it. She's not part of the Uppsala group of gymnasts who've tended to be Sweden's squad at most recent editions of the championships. She trains at Nevis, a club in the far south of Sweden, in the area that she's from. She's from the Östra Torn part of the city of Lund. It means Eastern Tower. Yeah, it's an amazing city, Lund. It was founded, they say, in 1020 by either Svein Folkbeard or his son Canute the Great, the famed Canute. It's a big moment that for her club and for Melanie Christoph. Lots to enjoy. She'll come back later and perform with the ribbon tomorrow. So she is working alongside Linnea Magdaberg, who's also doing 2 apparatus. We've got Josefine Engstrand, who is performing all 4 pieces. Just confirmed there, by the way, there was no change to Lia Kallio's score. Hope you're enjoying it all so far. Great to have you with us at the 42nd European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships. You're watching Set B, the second of today's 2 rotations for all of these gymnasts. We've still got sets C and D to come to complete our morning session. Just to remind you as well that there's more to come today in terms of medals. Following the joy for Bulgaria winning the team junior title, or the junior team title I should say, yesterday, we've got the junior apparatus finals taking place later on. So 20.55 for Melanie Christoph.
Representing Portugal with bow, please welcome
And a 23.75 for Rita Araujo. Yes, 7:30 those junior apparatus finals begin. Back to this senior competition, Joana Pinheiro.
Touch you like this, and if you kiss me like that, it was so long ago, but it's all coming back to me. If you touch me like this, and if I kiss you like that, it was gone with the wind, but it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back, it's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and there were flashes of light. There were things we could never do again, but then they'd always seem right. There were nights of endless pleasure. It was more than all your lost in love. Baby, 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 when you touch me like this, and when you hold me like that, it was gone with the wind, but it's all coming back to me now. When you kiss me like this, it's all coming back to me now. And when I
That is a proper bit of music, performed with real intensity and commitment by Joana Pinheiro of Portugal. Again, having that lovely side scale spin that she does with such elegance. It's all coming back to me now. Celine Dion song written by Jim Steinman. And special bonus marks to any of you out there who can say who originally wanted to do that song and who lost out to Celine Dion. I'll let you know after this exercise. Now to Josephine Engstrand. Got such a sharp, unexpected ending, and she really performs it nicely. I don't know about you, but I just feel so confident watching Josephine Engstrand perform. Like, you know that she's going to deliver what she set out to deliver. The answer we were looking for, by the way, it's all coming back to me now. Originally, it was Meatloaf who wanted to sing it, which you can sort of imagine listening to it. Wanted to put it into Bat Out of Hell. Bat Out of Hell 3. I would have accepted Bonnie Tyler as an answer as well, because that was offered to her as well. There we go, bringing you musical ephemera from the 1980s as well as the European Gymnastics Championships.
Representing Lithuania with ball, please welcome Skaistė Razikaitė.
Well, it was really enjoyable to watch this gymnast's first performance. Starting with a 23.85 with the hoops, Skaistė Razikaitė of Lithuania. She loves this routine.
Imaginez courir dans les forêts, rire au rythme de ta voix. Imaginez l'amour, toi et moi dans la tour, les étoiles en plein jour. Imaginez la vie que je n'aurai jamais, en tout cas pas ici.
That little issue with the ball put to one side, because that can happen to anyone at any point. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm watching a different gymnast. She's really developed hugely. How wonderful to see. 21.35 from Josephine Engstrand. Very consistent, exactly as you'd expect from her. much the same as she produced with the ball. But yes, back to Skaistera Zokaita. So nice to see the way that she has just taken the next step with the complexity of her work and the clarity of her work.
Representing Finland, please welcome MARIANNA.
Just confirm a 22.75 for Joana Pinheiro. Much more like it after a tricky start. Now, MARIANNA performing with the hoop. She started with a 26.1 with the ball.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun and the sky, you know how I feel. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. Rivers running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Oh, me. Da 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 da. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Finland's MARIANNA, second performance from her after starting with the 26.1 with the ball. By the way, I think I did my mathematics a little incorrectly initially. I said there was an improvement of about a couple of marks from the previous championships. It was an improvement, not by as much as that, but she was certainly up. Skaistera Zokaita, 20.35. MARIANNA competed at the World University Games last year. She was 19th in the all-around competition.
Representing Lithuania with ball, please welcome
Now the second performance from the debutant at the European Championships, Nijolė Mickutė of Lithuania, started nicely with a 23.75 with the hoop.
누구십니까? 꼬마입니다. 들어오세요. 꼬마야, 꼬마야, 뒤로 돌아라. 꼬마야, 꼬마야, 잘 가거라. 꼬마야, 꼬마야, 뒤로 돌아라. 꼬마야, 꼬마야.
That's very memorable, isn't it? Nicely put together exercise from Nijolė Mickutė, the 17-year-old from Lithuania. made her debut at the European Cup this year as part of the preparation process to get ready for these championships. 24.5 for Emmi Piirainen of Finland. Obviously, those execution issues keeping the score down a touch. She will be able to discard one score because she's doing all four.
Please welcome Lia Kallio.
Really enjoyable beginning from Lia Kallio of Helsinki. 25.65 with the ball. Let's see if she can keep that going with the hoop. One of the things that Lia Kallio is so good at is marking a musical moment. And that there, I think that's the evident joy that I was mentioning she feels when she's performing. It's just so clear. But she has this ability to find just a key note, for example, or a change in tempo and do something choreographically that draws your attention to it. It works really well. 23.2 for Michiute. So we have just a couple of performances to come now in set B, and that'll take us to a brief pause in proceedings, just about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll carry on. Representing Greece, European Championship debutant Mirto Kaskampa. Good luck to her. This is a big moment, but she's been a multiple Balkan Championship medalist.
Pourquoi
one must feel the utmost sympathy for her with that tricky moment at the start where she lost the apparatus and had to reach for the replacement. From then on, she demonstrated great resolve. Lovely attempt at the Raffaelli turn as well. That was very polished. 26.5 for Lia Kallio, the 4th best that we've seen with the hoop so far. Really nice display. 11.9 difficulty score. Now, Panayota Litra does not have a ball routine at these championships. She'll return tomorrow for clubs and ribbon. Clubs, of course, being one of her trademark apparatus, so it will be a second performance from Anastasia Kakalu. She is the other Greek gymnast who's going for all-around qualification. Kaskampa performing just with the ball and the ribbon. And just to explain that process a little more to you, you can only have 2 gymnasts from your nation perform with each apparatus, so you've got to metaphorically juggle while they're probably literally juggling in order to make sure that you get the whole setup right, that you've got 2 who are going for the all-around and then you've got maybe someone else who's doing 1 or 2 pieces. Some squads choose to just have 1 go for the all-around. 22.65 for Kaskampa. Just keep an eye on her, one to watch because there's a lot of potential. And now the last performance in this set comes from Anastasia Kakalu.
Jari 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 pavan san sananana san sananana jari 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 pavan mere jaisa dhoond ke la mera sajan san sananana san sananana jari 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 pavan.
A really playful feel to that choreographically. It worked very nicely with the orchestration. Enjoyable. And there was a moment where she had a clear trajectory, as you write at the end, and that's, I believe, what one might colloquially say is styling it out from a dance point of view and making it seem as though it was just a natural extension to bring the ball under control. 22.65 for Kaskampa. We just confirmed that score. We'll just wait for this last number to come in from Anastasia Kakalu. And all of this will bring us to a brief pause in proceedings. You won't have to wait too long before we get moving with Set C at the 42nd European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships and Senior Qualification. And we've got that number in now, so I can confirm for you it's a nice improvement for Anastasia Kakalu, a score of 24 for her, so she's up by just over a mark from the hoop performance. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes for more action from the 42nd European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championships. Don't go too far away, but you've got time just to pop the kettle on.